Everything has been demolished. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change. Leadership must all go.
So that will be the chairperson herself and her two
deputies. They must all go. They have mismanaged the commission so badly.
Out of West End, so Bium, Inti Asiedu Nketia be breaking silence over a year Chief Justice Madam Cheif Torkornoo ne suspension hunsensem. Aside the suspension also no EC boss Mensah any boss Manasari Omo ya score. Now of one mene uba beko gist ni mu. According to Asiedu Nketia chira, wa wu hold the public office bia, wa public position bia no. Get ready because someone new juma ya ibe you. If you are konyaso. I Ghana gossip. So you if you are now subscribe, I may just subscribe. Like enough video chewadi, I will comment the mu FMI. Inti Endra, you press release. And Chief Justice Madam Cheif Torkornoo eba bedi nkomo echeche mu say kwanya the NDC edene fasono they are intimidating her ekikaki kansempi ekase ne ofabi kra bibie yekunu no kai ni ya oni ade na adofo Madam Cheif Torkornoo ne nsemo de ba betu jani na no Asiedu Nketia se wetie ni na or the response aba answer betie response no Asiedu Nketia FYI on Mensah Boss Manasari, any more mokika can say, Omajuma as easy no, they fail to do it well. Omonya ready because almost ever pamomo. Get this uncommon. Yeba, yebeti the course concerning Chief Justice, Madam Cheif.
Management body in place. And so that is a subject of reset in future.
Resetting the EC?
Sure.
What does that mean?
It means that bringing it back into an institution that is fit for purpose. The way it is existing now, it's not fit for purpose. Because you cannot have, with all the laws that we have, you cannot still be having an election that will go into a stalemate. There is no anticipation of any stalemate in elections in any of our laws, unless people don't want to do their work well. And so it's a clear case of, negligence or inability to perform its functions. So it's a good reason why the Electoral Commission needs to be reset. And that is not the only issue. Remember, 4 years ago, there was the issue of SAL. A whole constituency went unrepresented for 4 years. And then, so when this commission, as presently constituted, took over the reins of the Electoral Commission, they have never done an election that is satisfactory. These two major elections, the first one constituency went unrepresented for 4 years. And then their second election is this one. And then with the by-elections, Ayawaso West, Wogon, everything has been demolished. So there is overwhelming evidence that this commission is not fit for purpose. And if any serious country will want to maintain this type of electoral commission, then I don't know what the country is about.
So there will be a change at the EC leadership?
There has to be a change.
Mensah must go?
Yes, I think the three top leadership must all go.
So that will be the chairperson herself and her two deputies.
Yeah.
Mensah, then Boxman Asari, and I believe you've been working. He's not always in the news.
Tete. They must all go. They have mismanaged the commission so badly.
Their positions, though, are positions protected under the Constitution. They're guaranteed tenure.
But the Constitution has given us the path to remove them. There is no appointee or state functionary who cannot be removed under this Constitution. There's a procedure of removing the president. There's a procedure of removing Speaker of Parliament. That's why there's a procedure for removing Chief Justice. Everybody has a way of holding them accountable. Because if you make an appointee or a state functionary who is not accountable to anybody, there's no way to hold them to check, then you breed a monster. And so when you look through the Constitution, everybody in the Constitution can be changed. I'll have issue if they are changed through the wrong means. But if they are changed through the constitutionally stipulated means, democracy is working.
Somebody needs to bring a petition. Will the NDC sponsor one?
I'm expecting you to sponsor one because many of the shortcomings, you've been talking about them here.
I don't have any grievance with them. So I have no reason to.
Any of the
instead of senior moti and this according to Asiedu Nketia. They say uti nsem ni mu ya. They say you can tell say reset in the actually. It's not all about the manual. It's not all about omu we askano. Reset and why am opposition now this can be and then NSS for the motivate you or motivate fucking de Torkornoo nkora na hwe de ni na odofo o mananso ho odinkomo efa madam Torkornoo ho ekirikire mu ekeka nsempi na firement we adofo esewani yentie decide so efamra.
The Chief Justice disagrees, at least the suspended Chief Justice. She did an unprecedented press conference and something she said, quote, "I have also heard several commentaries in the media about how this process was born out of a stated political agenda to remove me and control the judiciary, and that it is a political effort that can only result in a charade of a hearing that is played out."
Tell me, apart from this process that is ongoing, the existing judiciary which she left, which part of it has been tampered with by the NDC government?
She's a figurehead. If you touch her, you touch her.
No, I know. This is the first thing that is being touched. But we are using the existing structures that she superintended over to do that work. So if the judiciary was good when she was head, why does she think that the judiciary is not capable of undertaking this assignment of removing her in a fair manner?
Because she believes that the politicians in your party are manipulating that structure to get her out.
So is the judiciary capable of being manipulated by politicians? If that is the case, then it justifies every effort to reset the judiciary so that in future it never gets manipulated by politicians. Listening to her during these press conferences,
you listened?
It appears that everything that is happening in the judiciary now is wrong. But we haven't changed the judiciary she is superintended over. So if she thinks that the judiciary that existed is capable of being manipulated by politicians and so on, then she's confirming that there is a need for reset in the judiciary. So it should assist us to reset the judiciary. By
doing what? When you say she should assist you, how can she assist you?
By complying with the law and then the processes that are there, cooperating with the committee as much as possible to state her case with the committee instead of press conferences.
Is she right when he says this was plotted even before you won power?
Who plotted it?
He says stated political agenda. So
is it possible for a political agenda to be executed by the judiciary which she superintended over? If that is it, nothing has changed. But I'm asking you, what have we changed in the judiciary which he was heading? We haven't changed anything. All the judges are the same judges that existed when she was heading. And she was proclaiming that the law is the law, the processes are there, the 7-0, 9-0, unanimous 7, unanimous. They were the same thing. So the only difference is that she is now at the receiving end of the work of the same unanimous 7. So what has changed?
If you listen...
And if now she's realizing that injustice can be delivered by the judiciary she was heading, then he should help us. He should agree with us that there is a need to reset the judiciary so that in future we rid it of all political manipulations.
I know you are a student of history also, and today she cited history. She says that the venue for the hearing, which is the Edu Lodge, has historical links to the murder of the judges, and that place was deliberately chosen. Of course, it is there was a request from the committee, and the state said use that venue. She says that was deliberately chosen to, one, intimidate her.
What were the castles meant for? They were meant for, slave trade, where people were tortured in the dungeons and so on. After independence, we had to use the Christianborg Castle until recently. So that argument is neither here nor there. The structure itself can torture you. I don't think she's making a strong point, in my view.
She says she's
just playing to the gallery.
You think she is?
Yes. Just trying to court public sympathy, which she doesn't deserve.
Why?
That's my opinion. It doesn't deserve, because this is a structure you yourself have used in the past. You were shouting in your courtroom that the law is the law. So have we changed the laws? We haven't. Have we changed any of the judges she was operating with? We haven't. Have we passed any legislation that has changed the procedures and processes in the judiciary she was heading? We haven't changed anything. So if that judiciary had been delivering or administering justice to ordinary citizens, why on earth should he be thinking that she's a special human being who should be treated differently?
She says she's been threatened. She's received threats. People have threatened to harm her. You have no sympathy at all.
As a citizen, if you receive threats, what do? You report to the police. She should go and report to the police. Or you think that when she was a judge, you could just walk into the court and say that I have received threats, so the court should do something. You report to the police, give your evidence to the police. The police will do the investigation, and if it is worth prosecuting, they bring the matter to court. So she is the number one judge in the country, and she doesn't want to apply the law. Instead of reporting to the police, she's shouting at press conferences, making claims. If somebody calls her and threatens her, how are we supposed to know that her claim that she has been threatened is true or not true? Who is going to pick her phone to check whether they were indeed threats or no threats? So if she believes in what he is claiming, the best place to go is to report to the police, tender the evidence, let them do the investigation, and if somebody ought to be arrested and prosecuted, let them do that. But this thing of shouting at press conferences and so on, I don't think that is. She's not showing us the way, and she is a lawyer. She's supposed to show us the Pawani Tapes, the way to handle such threats.
That is Johnson Asiedu Nketia.
Inzarofo senya moti and this according to Asiedu Nketia, and our baby in common what this side or change say. So who the public office on Quadia, we are then ubeko. So I'm for cousin a Chief Justice no and moon to me, because Onune Jumano is backed by the law. But Mrana, so a man is the reason why in here you bet to me Chief Justice. But for then also you found Ghana gossips. Updates we as a becabiano. Ye de be a bedding, a bebro.